Hashtag no offense uses strong language and is intended for a mature audience. Listener discretion is advised. Hashtag no offense.
Just like Flo, huh?
Just like Flo.
I thought she was talking about me. I was like, God damn, put all my business out there.
Hashtag buried life.
He comes once a month. He's good.
Oh, you're the best, Duchess. Is that a mojito?
All right, y'all. You ready?
Yeah, bro, we've been ready.
I'm sorry. I'm fucking
I was just saying, I wasn't
sorry.
talking shit.
When are you not talking shit? If you're talking, you talking shit.
Sensitive.
He is.
Hey,
See what I deal with?
you guys are bullying the champ right now.
He needs it. His ego's like, woo.
Please, my ego ain't never been like,
And be like,
whatever, dog.
start this shit.
Welcome back to another episode of Hashtag No Offense. My name is Chris, and I am joined, as always, by my lovely wife, the Duchess, and my homeboy to my left, Mr. Tampa Two Rings. And in the house tonight, the creative geniuses behind the Married as Fuck podcast and the Civilized Creatures podcast network. We got Brooke and Randal Fowler in the house. Say what's up.
What up?
What's up?
Yeah, glad to have y'all. Woo woo.
Oh, we're glad to be here.
I'm super stoked to be here.
Glad to finally have you at our house, man. I know we've come to your house before, but glad to finally be able to repay the favor.
Dude, I want to live
Absolutely.
at their house.
Huh?
It's fucking awesome. Said I'd like to live
You
at
guys
their
can
house.
come live at our house anytime.
Yeah.
All of you. You're welcome.
Come on.
We do need to make a trip to Georgia. We got some friends up there, and they've been there for a couple of years now, and we haven't been up to see them.
Yeah.
We should go up there and knock two birds out with one stone, right?
Yeah, they live right in Atlanta.
Oh, they live in
Oh, shit.
Atlanta?
No, I think they live like an hour from there, like
Oh.
in some kind of weird suburb.
Yeah, that's like us.
So-
We're
so
like,
most
yeah.
most people live about an hour outside
Yeah.
of it. Hey, well, I want to do our shot because we always do a shot. I want to do this shot to the champ here.
Ooh.
Oh,
What you got there?
Alright.
What are you guys shooting
you're
there?
the best.
This is some muscle vodka with grape and cranberry juice mixed into the shot.
That don't
like
sound
a
bad.
bunch of bitches.
That don't sound bad at all.
Cheers, sir.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Am I the only one drinking alcohol on my side?
Yes,
Oh,
I'm
shit.
drinking my coffee
Oh,
because
God.
I fell asleep.
I'm aware.
And I woke up at like 8:15, so I'm trying to get my shit together.
That's going to take a lot more than that cup of coffee.
Come on now.
Well, he took a shit too, so
Thank you, Jason.
he should
Well,
be
then you're
lighter.
golden.
Yeah, I didn't sleep much last night, man. After we got done, I was flying high, man. I laid in bed staring at the ceiling for a while, and I woke up early today. Like my alarm doesn't go off till 5:45, and I was awake by 5 in the shower, ready to go. Like I'm here, baby.
Yeah, that's weird because that's how we were. We went to bed late and got up earlier this morning.
I only got up earlier. Well, I was like ready to hit snooze again, and then Gunnar comes walking in.
It takes me
Always do.
It always takes me like an hour at least after we record any show to like kind of unwind. But after the roundtable, just because I'm so damn mentally exhausted from for one having to actually listen to everyone, because usually I can just pretend I'm listening but actually listen.
You don't have to come up
So
with the fucking
I
answer.
can't imagine that's where I was just going,
Oh.
where you guys really have to listen.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I have all the love for anybody that goes on there. The balls. I can't wait for Duchess to come on.
It's going to be
Yeah,
good.
me neither.
I hope anyway. We'll see.
Well, let's get some business out of the way, man. We'll get to the roundtable. I know I want to dig in. You know, I love the roundtable, and I always like to do the recaps after the episode. And it just so happens I got the fucking heads of the roundtable this week. So
Beautiful.
normally I have one of the people that competed on, but I mean I can't have my fucking cell phone, right?
You're there.
Well, let's pay these bills. Hashtag No Offense Show every week is sponsored by Hemp Bombs CBD. Hemp Bombs are specifically formulated to provide consumers with quality CBD product at an affordable price. Hemp Bombs contain 99% pure CBD isolate with 0% THC and are legal in all 50 states. The many benefits of Hemp Bombs include reduced anxiety, increased sense of relaxation, reduction of aches and pains, mood enhancement, and deeper, more restful sleep. Hemp Bombs come in a variety of products, including oils, e-liquids, gummies, suckers, capsules, syrup, and even products for your pet. Dutchie, what's around the corner?
4th of July, bitch.
Get some CBD for your pet if they freak out with the fireworks.
Boom,
we want
boom.
everybody to have a nice, safe holiday. Go to hempbombs.com. Use code word HTNOS for 20% off of your entire order. That's HTNOS at hempbombs.com.
Every order.
Every order.
Not just your first order.
Not just your first order,
Or
Bobby.
every order.
We are also sponsored by Ohfishl Clothing. Rooted in hip-hop, Ohfishl is a streetwear company creating high-quality T-shirts, hats, jewelry at an affordable price. Featuring reimaginations of classic hip-hop and sports logos, as well as original designs, there's something for everyone at Ohfishl. Check out ohfishl.com, spelled OHFISHL, and see for yourself. And don't forget to use code word HTNOS and save 25% on your entire order. Ohfishl Clothing, live by your own rules.
Order up, bitch. Still need titty shirts.
It's
He
on the
says
radar.
they're coming.
It's on the radar,
I
all right?
know.
Stop being so goddamn aggressive.
That's what I do.
The Duchess coming after him.
That's right.
I'm telling you,
I
she-
said I even offered to send him a shirt of my own, just like put an O on it or something. I need some threads, bro.
I told him he's got to cater to the female side too.
True, not just bracelets. Even though the bracelets are nice.
They are nice bracelets.
But I'm not a big
though they're
jewelry
very
wearer. I had this cartilage piercing since 8th grade, and I wear my wedding rings, and that's it.
You barely wear those.
I take them off periodically.
Periodically, like every 12 hours or so.
Yeah, when I make dinner and give the children baths.
They just never make their way back to the hand.
They do in the morning.
Yeah, the other
when I go
piercing?
before I go to work. No. I did have my tongue
okay. I was
pierced
just
at
curious.
one time. And I also had my eyebrow pierced at one time.
Me too.
Hey.
Eyebrow buddies.
What's wrong with you, dude?
What?
We got to rub eyebrows
I had my
now.
labret pierced, my
Scars
eyebrow.
together.
Jesus.
I had 2 in each ear at the bottom, and then I had my cartilage pierced.
And then you found
I had a lot.
Jesus, or?
No, I still had Jesus. I just like putting holes in my body. That's all.
Just like
yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, I guess so.
I did
Just in
too.
different places.
I guess
too.
he didn't like it.
No, I mean, he didn't ask for it.
He did it for us. All right, we can move on. I'm sorry.
That took a left. That took a sharp left turn there, Chris.
That's how she does. That's
You
how she
inspired
does.
me with your Gandhi yesterday.
Go from fucking paying the bills to Jesus died for us.
That's
No
the beauty
offense.
of Dutchie.
Yeah, that's her in a nutshell.
Hey, I'm getting a nut.
There you go.
Hashtag No Offense is part of the Inner Circle Podcast Network. Look for us at innercirclepn.com and on the socials at Inner Circle PN. Quick update to the Slimmer Circle. I'm sure you guys are familiar with our weight loss competition that we are right in the middle of.
Absolutely. Following it closely. Proud of all you guys and Dutchie.
Hell yeah.
I slacked last week, but I'm getting back. I got 3 pounds this week.
All you guys and
So,
Dutchie.
hell yeah. 'Cause they're all guys. Oh, Heather's on
Oh,
there.
Heather's in there. Heather's
Heather's
doing
in
her
there.
thing. She's
Oh, I
doing.
didn't know she was in it.
Yeah,
I
she's
didn't know
doing
she
like
was in it.
CrossFit and shit. She's like,
Yeah.
she's going.
She's
balls
lost,
deep.
not recent. I mean, it's over a long period of time, but she's lost over 100 pounds, she said.
Oh shit.
That's incredible.
Nice.
What was hilarious is Chris was telling me that he had talked to you and was like asking for a workout routine and all this stuff. So he showed me the text that you sent him. And I used to work out quite a bit back in the day, but I was reading through it and I was like, I don't know what half this shit is. Like,
It's so different.
I told Two Rings, I said, Randall is under the impression that I am like trying to get up to be on like SEAL Team 6 or something. I said, I ain't trying to fucking assassinate anybody. I ain't done a pull up since like 5th grade and it wasn't that easy then.
Did you tell him to do pull-ups?
I don't know if I had pull-ups on there
Are
or
you?
not.
You're not fucking doing pull-ups at the gym.
I do pull-ups every other day at the gym. I have push-pull days. You don't go to the gym. Don't try to chime in. You don't know. I work out. I do my own shit
I
every
know you
day.
do a lot at the gym. I've just never seen you do pull-ups, and I used to go to the gym with you all the time.
Well, I mean, you know that I do the
Okay.
damn. What's the big Memorial Day?
the Murph.
The Murph, yeah. That was brutal 2 years ago, the Murph that I did.
What is that?
Those,
Is that like a
I
savage
do
race?
200. Yeah. No, it's Mike Murphy, the SEAL that died in
Oh yeah.
Lone Survivor, the one that went up on the
Right.
hilltop and to get the call out to get him rescued. They have a workout for him that's done on Memorial Day, like a WOD, and it's shit. I think it's like 200 push-ups, 100 pull-ups,
Oh, wow.
1 mile run, a bunch of squats.
All with like a weighted vest on, too.
Yeah, with a weighted vest, and you can, however long it takes you is how long it takes you, but fuck, man, my big ass doing pull-ups, that takes a while. I was breaking it down to sets of 1 and 2.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Right.
Yeah, Joe B works out with one of those weighted vests, man. Like, he looks like he's one of the Avengers. I tell him every time he puts it on, I'm like, you going to fight Thanos, dog? Like, why? It's just a workout, man.
Yeah, but that workout I sent you is it is true. If you're not, it's more for my function of just keeping the muscle mass I have, but it's just push-pull. Every other day you rotate. So it's not like legs, shoulders, chest. You're either pushing or pulling, so.
I just been trying to focus
but-
on getting thin. I just been doing some cardio. I hadn't even got into the weights yet, but
Well, you look good.
I'm gonna.
You're
Well, I
doing great.
appreciate that,
And
man.
the sauna too.
I'm
Sweating
I'm
it out.
sitting there sweating it out too.
I love the
I'm
sauna.
still sitting in first place, down 9%. We got Riley in second, down 6. Joe B in third, down 5. Ben from the plunge, down 5 also. And then my man 2 Rings over here, down 3.5 in the 5th spot. So that is the up-to-date rankings.
Yeah, well, I know I give Riley shit every week about the fucking formula because I guess there is none. But if there's no fucking reason to go by like body mass index, why not just do pounds? Because 9% is great.
Well, because I'm
but-
down 30 pounds, and I
Right.
started with more.
What?
I started with, I was at 280. So
Yeah.
I'm coming in with more to fucking lose. That's why he's not
It
just doing
should-
straight pounds.
Pounds are pounds, bro.
Yeah,
So-
it really should be a percentage of how much you lose
Right.
just to make it fair. But it sounded like, based on y'all's last episode, that he had some kind of weird, like, carry the 6 and subtract, and like it was some kind of weird formula. I was just like, you can't just take the total weight.
That's
and
what
then,
I would
like,
think. I think
however
pounds
much
just
weight
look
lost,
more
and then
impressive than percentage. That's just my opinion.
And nobody really knows what he's doing. I mean, like I
He's
think it's the
millennial
percentage
mentality.
of weight lost. I think that's
No, I know. He takes, I think he said he takes the weight that you started at minus whatever and then does a percentage. Minus what you have now and does a percentage.
It's that Common Core math.
Yeah, it's that millennial shit.
Let me tell you what, Riley is in charge of our finances for Inner Circle. All the money goes through Riley. So like this might turn into an Enron situation real quick.
So I'm sure I'll get a message about it, but I think pounds just look more impressive
Yeah,
than
because
9.
he's very defensive when you guys start
I know he
attacking him.
does.
You guys start attacking
I
him.
love you, Riley, but I just don't
Riley,
get it.
it's okay, Riley. You're probably way smarter, so it's fine.
Probably.
Let's not get carried away.
He just graduated college, so it's all
I'm
fresh.
sure he's smarter than me,
Let's put him on the streets and see what happens.
right?
Yeah,
That
right.
little soft little bitch don't get ass fucked in no time.
Goes to New Jersey
There
once,
it
all of a
is.
sudden he's a G.
That boy's soft.
All right, Jason, are you going to break your slimmer circle to try this new KFC Cheeto sandwich?
Dude, that
Did you guys see that?
looks so disgusting.
KFC's got a chicken sandwich with Cheetos on it. It's
Oh my!
I wanted to take a shit just looking at it.
usually I'm into the gimmick shit like that, but like
Yeah, the double down was your
double
jam.
down that was awesome, man. That was like made fat man shit. That was
What
like,
was that
What
one
was a
again?
double
that
down?
was, instead of bread, it was 2 chicken breasts.
Oh,
Cheese
that's
in the
right.
middle.
That's right.
Yeah, that was fat man shit, dude. I ain't
Hard
fucking
to
with
say.
the
A lot of
Cheetos, but
meat.
I thought Jason might.
No. I mean, I'll put me some Lay's on a turkey sandwich or something, but I'm
Dude,
not
you
going
can't put
to.
Lay's on bologna. Fucking
Dude,
putting it
bro,
on turkey.
I do the old poor man's potato chip sandwich, baby. Some Lay's, mustard, and white bread all day. I grew up eating that shit. We didn't have enough fucking meat. I've made those for Brooke. Brooke actually ate one. Was like,
not
"What
bad.
the fuck is this garbage?" Not bad.
I can get down with
I'm
this.
going to have to try
At least
that.
she had name brand potato chips.
Oh no, we don't. And I still refuse
got
to buy
some great
name brand. A lot of times I buy the old Kroger. What is it? True Value or something.
Great
Great
value
Value's
from
Walmart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, I remember Kroger's when I lived in Georgia. We had
I love.
That's
Kroger.
right. Yeah, you guys got two used to live in
got
Georgia.
that Georgia connection.
Yeah.
Kroger sounds like it's like at the Winn-Dixie of Florida.
No, because I got Winn-Dixie too. Don't y'all got Winn-Dixie?
Barely.
A few.
Oh, we got
a
we-
few,
shit,
but
we
it's
got
mostly Kroger and Publix and Ingles. But we don't have a Kroger by our new house, and it's been a big point of contention for Randall because
Really fucked my world up.
Publix is fucking expensive, and that's like the closest one to the house. So I'm like,
I'm a creature of habit. Like I'm your best customer. I'm like brand loyal, everything loyal. As long as you don't ever fuck me over, like I will stay and I will do everything in my power to buy, so I go to like the same gas station, same, grocery stores, no matter what. And when we moved, it's fucked me. I'm still getting over it. Like it's not a good thing. I've got an issue and trying to work through it.
problem. Yeah, we'll get there, baby.
Maybe.
How was your Father's Day, big guy?
Oh, it was great.
Yeah?
It was fucking great. I got we were talking earlier, I got those 91 Retro J's. Brooke picked those. I had no idea about that, so that's a solid win for her on the gift category. Can't go wrong with kicks. I mean, I don't know if y'all saw the last Uncle Randy video, but the shoes got to be clean. That's just I believe in that.
Yeah, he's got almost as many shoes as I do.
I believe it.
I love the shoes.
That's a good thing we got a
But
big closet.
It was great. I enjoyed it. How was yours?
Oh, not bad at all. I mean, normally we don't really do gifts for anything. I mean, like for Mother's Day, Father's Day, I mean, it's a little different. The kids do stuff, they get us stuff. But this year Dutch came through with a whole like grill set, and she bought me grilling for dummies because
He's a dummy that can't grill.
that doesn't cook. So yeah, she bought me all kinds of grill stuff, and went and had breakfast with my little one at the daycare, and
Nice, man.
yeah.
I saw that. That's cute.
Yeah, he was excited because he didn't know that we were coming.
I know yours have done these things for you. He did the little questionnaire for me.
Oh, shit. Yes. Love these.
He got my name right. Says my dad's name is Chris. He's 4 years old.
Oh,
His job is going to work.
yeah.
His favorite food is salad. Little boy's watching. Little boy's watching. His favorite TV is grown-up shows.
Oh,
His
porn.
His favorite. Hey,
That's maybe his
you're watching
second
too.
favorite.
Daddy's watching a story, son.
Grown-up shows.
His favorite place is Chuck E. Cheese, which is that one I don't get
That's
because
his favorite place.
we've only
We've
taken
never
there
taken-
like once.
I don't think. Oh, when he was little,
Like
like
little,
3
little.
months, like he wouldn't have. It's all those YouTube videos he watches with Chuck E. Cheese.
Uh-huh.
He picks all the
Yep.
retarded videos with all the dumb kids walking around peeing on everything.
Walker,
Yeah,
what?
Chuck E.
What is he
Cheese.
watching?
You know that these kids pee on everything at Chuck E. Cheese. It's just like knowledge.
Hopefully not on video.
I could just smell the place when he's watching these videos.
Nice.
Disgusting.
They sell beer there, though.
He tells me that I'm good at soccer and football, which I've literally never played soccer one time in my life. I don't even know where
Probably
he got
because you
that
always
from.
talk shit about it. He just hears you say it.
I don't know. My dad is smart because he is an alligator.
Oh,
So
That is serious.
he's got the Florida
Amazing.
connection.
All right.
Chomp, chomp.
amazing.
My dad always says nothing. Literally talk more hours a week than I ever have in my entire life. My dad says nothing.
Maybe he meant nothing important.
And he's go fuck yourself.
Nothing that he gives a shit about.
Ma'am.
He's always talking about these fucking hemp bombs.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell that is.
Yeah, right.
about
Hey, I got a bottle of Spunk Lube right behind me on the shelf, and none of them have asked me what it is yet.
Gunner has.
Has he?
Gunner's asked us before, and because on our logo, how we hung up his Elmo sleeping bag behind us for our backdrop when we took our picture, and then Randall like photoshopped a bottle of Spunk Lube in Elmo's hand, and Gunner, when he sees the bottle, he's like, "That's what Elmo's holding in y'all's picture." I'm like,
Elmo's a freak.
"Sure is." Thanks, Daddy. Yeah.
Elmo likes it wet.
Oh, Jesus.
I like
God. Yeah,
slime.
They didn't do anything at his school for Father's Day, but they remember for Mother's Day. I think maybe they were kind of getting ahead of it because they knew he was just going to be in summer camp and they were going to fuck you. So they did. They sent home something for Mother's Day that also had a dad's thing. Because remember, it said my dad's 100, and he said he said I was like 5 or something. What? No, he said I was 15 and Randall was 100.
Yeah, that makes sense. I could see
About
that.
right.
I could see
I was
that.
like, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I
hilarious.
can't blame him. The Santa beard, it is solid. I mean, this thing it gets grayer every second. and whiter, actually, not gray.
Right.
I'm going to be a top tier Santa, just so y'all know. Y'all think it's
Eventually,
fucking
yeah.
around?
Every year,
That's
it's more
my
and more.
real plan, because I met a guy in one of the companies that I've worked for that was a part-time Santa, and he made $190,000 a year. He's a legit Santa. And he, works 3 months a year. He's retired. That's his
Fuck,
gig.
yeah,
Damn.
get that beard white, sir.
Oh shit! I'm gonna start growing mine out even more.
What do I need to do?
That's insane.
I've got all the tools, because I've got like the horrible whiskey nose from my mom. I'm going to be solid when I get to be Santa's age. So
That's crazy. Dude, that bitch got to be
That's the
working like
retirement.
12 hours a day.
yeah, but if you can
For
kick it
3
out and
months.
be done in 3 months,
Yeah, for 3 months, get it all out of the way. That's like how strippers do. They work like 3 months a year. Man.
That's 1,080 hours.
She's
in
trying to
3
figure out the
months.
math.
190,000 divided by
What's some of this?
1080 equals $175 an hour.
Oh shit!
yep, I take
Fucking
it.
A, dude.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Dude,
supply and demand.
He needs to be like an astrophysicist or some shit. Those bitches probably don't even make that much.
I think it's all based on. We've all seen them, garbage Santas, like at the mall
Oh,
and shit.
like bad
there's
Santa?
there's tiers of how good of a Santa, and I think you can adjust your price.
Well, nowadays, like anybody that wears a fake beard, just get the fuck out of here with
yeah,
that.
I got no
True.
love for that nowadays.
Get the fuck out of here with that. Like, don't put your
Yeah, that shit doesn't fly
face
anymore.
wig on for my kid.
I make my kid go up there and tug. The first thing he does and be like, nah.
You've been
Next.
exposed. You fraud.
It's not Santa.
You sit on a throne of lies.
All year, baby.
Well, I got some Florida stories. You ready to take a ride down to Florida?
Hell yes.
Oh, I can't wait.
Buckle
Fucking love
in.
this shit.
Woo, doggy. Hey, Beatrice.
Yeah.
Get your ass in here. These no offense boys about to do Welcome to Florida again.
Let me grab the natty.
Oh shit! And I thought my family was fucked up.
Y'all are going to be here soon. We're giving you a little taste.
1 week ish. We'll be there.
See, you're up in the what do they call that? The Floribama Shore.
Well, it's Fort Walton. Yeah, it's not far from. It's the Panhandle. I mean,
Yeah. See, that's
You know.
that's even different. That's like Florida.
I know Panhandle, Florida is like that's where the
That's why it's
real
so
weird
small.
shit happens. Yeah.
That's why it's so small.
Because you're not supposed to go there.
She's got a vendetta against the Panhandle and has literally never been there.
I just knew a guy from there.
Everybody knows somebody.
Everybody knows it. I don't know. The weeks every year we go there for a week and fucking love it.
Is it by chance that black guy or whatever y'all talked about
Oh,
a few
Byron?
episodes back that I wanted to hear more about that ate macaroni and cheese or some shit?
Yeah, that
No,
son
it
of a
wasn't
bitch.
him. It was like it was the best man at one of our friends' weddings who lived there, and he was just a piece of shit.
Oh, that dude?
Yeah.
That's the guy that you've been.
Yeah.
Oh my
it's not
God.
the other
Yeah,
one.
he is a piece of
shit. No, when he came to our friend's wedding, he bought this girl to the wedding, paid for her trip to come down to Tampa, and then the bitch found some other dude on the internet and left him. And then he was sad about it and just was like moping and following everybody around. He was a total tool.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you fucking spent a shitload of money for some chick
That's
to
his
play.
dumb fault. He should
Oh,
have
it is
laid
his
first.
fault.
I don't even think he knew her ahead of time.
That's, of course, he was more upset at himself, clearly, because that was, God, what a bad
Well, it was
situation.
funny because the girl left before, like, they took the couple pictures, like, because he was supposed to walk with this girl down the thing. So I was like, I feel bad for you. I'll take a picture with you. So I stood with him to take a picture.
Yeah, but then he took that as now we're best friends, so like he wouldn't leave her side for the rest of the fucking time. And I'm like, yo, bro, back the fuck off.
Oh my.
stage 5 clinger.
Totally.
Well, first one I got for you guys tonight. We're in Palm Bay, where a Florida man says he has sex with stolen pool toys instead of raping women.
Okay, I guess that's okay.
Oh my.
Why's he got to steal
Oh
them?
my.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't.
better than raping chicks.
I guess if they're stolen, I mean, it might feel better.
Maybe
you
he
know?
just likes them used.
Everything's better when it's someone else's. If you've got a Gatorade and I ask you for a drink of your Gatorade, it's better than if I have my own
I'm gonna
because
spit
it's
in it
yours.
first.
Nasty.
Yeah.
Suspect, 35-year-old Christopher William Monin, allegedly broke into a number of homes in the city of Palm Bay in Brevard County
Brevard.
that have private pools, and he stole the inflatables. The defendant stated that he sexually gratifies himself with the pool floats instead of raping women. There have been at least 13 burglaries reported in the area in which inflatable pool toys were stolen, according to the report. He's the suspect in all of these thefts.
How big is this guy's dick? Because the whole of a floaty, what's he fucking? Does he deflate that and
noodle.
just rub
Rubs
them
it
on
on
himself?
it.
Maybe-
Or is it like a noodle? Is it one of those like pool noodles?
Oh, that would be a good one. He's got skinny pencil dicks fucking him.
I was going to say, that's a
Noodles.
skinny hole, too.
He cuts him in little portions
Yeah.
and then was like, nah, next.
Or is it,
Your
or is it
sound
like the
effects
cup
are
holder?
fucking pristine tonight.
Did she just make a fart noise for when he blew his load?
Splooge. That's my splooge effect.
Police tracked him down and stopped him while he was riding his bike with a garbage bag full of deflatable pool toys.
Oh my God, riding a bicycle.
Now, listen, if you're riding your bike out and robbing, I mean, it all makes sense.
But why would you just say like I'm doing this instead of raping women? Like why wouldn't you just say like I'm stealing some pool toys for my kids?
Right.
Like, why would you say I'm fucking these things so I don't like that's the most like lock him up immediately.
He wanted,
Honesty
he wanted
is
to
the
make
best
it sound
policy.
Like he was like doing something good for the community.
Yeah, no,
Right,
honesty is
right.
the best policy, right? Like you learn that at a very young
He's
age.
fucking lying. He ain't doing that shit instead of raping women. He just likes to fuck pool toys.
And rape women probably.
He brought the
Probably.
police to a vacant house where he stores all of his inflatables, and there were about 75 toys in the house, according to the report.
Have you guys ever watched Strange Addiction on TLC? There was a one on this guy that fell in love with a pool floaty.
Shut the fuck up, dude.
And they
That's
would
not
have
real.
sexual relationships
That's not
with
real.
it, and he loved it. And he would they'd show him like licking it and things.
Dude, that's not real.
Oh my God, so
Well,
gross.
he thought it was real.
That's not real.
It's real love.
Well, I mean, but how close this guy that's fucking the pool floaties? I mean, he's as close, I would think, to the police. If he hasn't yet, he would kill someone real soon and fuck their corpse. I mean, that's
got
and then
tendencies,
skin
right?
them and turn them into a pool floaty.
That's what I was just
Yes.
thinking. I was like, it's like he's fucking skins anyway right now.
Put the
Yeah.
lotion in the basket.
Right?
Exactly.
Get the hose
Exactly.
again.
So they found a house full of his contraband, also full of his jizz.
75 toys worth. So,
Damn,
I mean,
I
like,
wouldn't blacklight that house.
variety really
Yeah.
is the spice of life,
Hell no.
apparently.
You think they made the rookie cop pick up, collect the floaties?
They're probably like, hey,
Hey,
sniff
rookie.
this. Tell me what it is.
Yeah. Hey, rookie, go pick those. Go collect the evidence.
You pick it up and
No
you got
gloves.
slime coming off it like it just got attacked by one of them things from Stranger Things.
Ew, would you have to deflate them all first too before like to bag them or whatever?
Fuck that, dude.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
all
because
like,
you think of how much room one floaty takes up. Like
Right?
the evidence room can't fit a whole bunch.
Strap him to the roof of the car.
all the dried jizz is flakes off of it. All their
baby.
deflating. What? I got to give
poor
this is a
bastard.
listening podcast, so I need to give them visuals.
This is a listening podcast, she says. Did you mean this is an audio medium
Yes.
like I usually tell you?
Yes.
She
always
speaks with her
tells me.
hands a lot. And I'm like,
I
no
do.
one
Well,
can
you
see
can
that
see me
except for
now.
us.
Yeah.
I bet you a lot of those floaties were stuck together, though, to Dutchess's point.
I like the
Crack,
magazines.
crack them apart.
Oh, man.
Body of Christ.
Oof. Oh.
Why?
Back to Jesus. It's always back to Jesus.
You got Jason over there like 2 seconds away from quitting this fucking podcast. He don't even like coming as it is, and you're like,
That's true. He knows it's all in fun. I love him.
oh, second one I got for you. We're in Edgewater, where a Florida man is accused of taking a 4-year-old on a burglary spree.
What?
James Giabra, 38, was reportedly arrested on Thursday for taking a 4-year-old with him as he broke into several properties. A concerned citizen called 911 to report someone carrying large bags around his neighbor's property and also said someone messed with the electrical wires on his boat in an attempt to steal it. Later, another called and reported a suspicious man walking through yards with a young girl. The next day, deputies took a second report about a man and a little girl running through a yard looking into sheds in another neighborhood. While speaking with a possible burglary victim, deputies stumbled upon an intruder in the victim's home, and it was Giambra. He was arrested, and deputies located the girl, and according to sheriff's office, she had an iPod Touch in her hands that she just stole from the car in the garage.
Oh wow!
You know what? I'm just sad about this.
Oh my!
You know what?
So sad.
I was. You said Bad Santa earlier, and it's funny because as I was typing this up yesterday, I was thinking about Bad Santa. I'm like, this is like fucking Billy Bob and that kid, man. He's got the kid fucking snowed. They're just doing shit together. Kid's probably like, I love you, man.
So was it his kid?
They don't know.
say.
It says the deputies didn't reveal the relationship between Giambria and the 4-year-old who was returned to her family members. He remains in custody of Volusia County Correctional Facility on several charges, including child neglect and grand theft.
You know, that reminds me of when he used to manage a Funko-Land, when it was Funko-Land, and these kids would be
GameStop.
outside. These kids would be outside with just boxes. What was it?
GameStop.
It used to be a Funko-Land.
Yeah, but we're old. Nobody knows that.
All right,
Nobody
so
remembers
it's a
that.
GameStop now. So these kids would be outside with boxes just full of M&Ms that their parents had made them go sell.
Yeah, it was sad. They would go to Sam's Club and buy one of those like $30 boxes of candy bars, you know, and kids would just walk the parking lots all day from like 8 to 5 just trying to sell candy.
Today I had to stop at the mall for something, and I had to get gas. So I'm at the gas station, and this kid walks up to me with this Tupperware, and he tells me that he needs to sell these things to go to Volcano Bay, which is like a water park or something.
Yeah.
So he's like, I need to sell these things so I can go to Volcano Bay, and he's like, I'm going to show you what I have in my Tupperware or whatever. And I'm like, okay. So I'm pumping my gas or whatever. So he opens it up, and he's talking to me, and I'm like, all right, well, how much is it? How much are your things or whatever? And he's like, well, they're $10 an item. He's got Teddy Grahams. He's got Fiddle Faddle. He's got
$10.
chicken and
I
biscuit.
love some fiddle fat.
No weed.
No weed, but he's also got like those
Chicken and a biscuit. He came with some chicken and a fucking biscuit.
and like 3 bags of Teddy Grahams.
Hey, let me tell you. So far, everything this kid is right up my alley.
Randall's like, check.
I'll buy,
No, but it's funny
I'll buy one of
because
each.
I think it was catered to white people because it also had like those little like wafer cookies with like the chocolate inside.
God, yes.
Milanos?
No,
deliciousness.
they're like cylinder.
Pirouettes?
Yeah, those.
Those like straws?
Oh.
And he told
But they
me
come in like that paper bag, like that stupid fancy looking paper bag or whatever.
He's looking at you like...
So I looked at the kid and I gave him $20 and I said, just take my money. I'm not even going to take anything out of your bucket.
You didn't even get no Teddy Grahams?
I didn't get any Teddy Grahams. I'm just
Actually,
like,
you better have got some fiddle fat.
I didn't get anything. I'm like, because in my mind I'm thinking like, this is bullshit. Like he's not. I'm like, just take my money. I'm not gonna take your Teddy Grahams or your Fiddle Faddle. Here's $20.
I want your chicken and a biscuit.
What's funny is everybody's trying to pin this on the old guy. What if the 4-year-old is like the kingpin of this whole shit? Like, he's just sitting back smoking Newports, like laying out the plan and shit.
All right.
Boss
Yeah,
baby.
this kid was like, I don't know, maybe 12 years old or something.
Oh, okay.
Just walking around a racetrack with this little Tupperware full of.
You know what? You know what
Snacks.
was funny too. You said, you didn't think that was legit or whatever, so you just gave him some money. I was coming up to a stoplight today, and there was a guy with a piece of cardboard, collecting
It's
money
Florida.
or whatever, and the cardboard says, "Not even gonna lie, I just need a beer."
Oh, I've seen that before.
Yeah.
Like I've seen somebody do that where I'm like, I appreciate your honesty, sir.
I tried to get my phone out to take a picture real quick,
Yeah.
and I couldn't get it out in time.
That's because people will be
my.
like, yeah, man, and then give him money.
And hook him up. Yeah, I would have, but who carries cash anymore?
I tried. There's this old guy that sat outside Logan's Victory, like his martial arts studio. And every morning when I would drop him off for martial arts, he was always there. And he was in a wheelchair. He had a missing leg. He was always slumped over. So I would go to Dunkin' Donuts and get like a wrap up or something that they get. Because it's like $2. So then when I would drop Logan off, I'd hand him a bag of food through the other side of the door. Because it's like, I feel bad for him. He's not even trying. He's just sitting there like all slumped over. I'm like, I got to feed this guy, at least give him a $2 sandwich and a black coffee.
Yeah, you know that when I lived in Alabama, they did. I was going to Birmingham a lot for work because we had a corporate thing there, and I remember I was there for a couple of days. I was watching the news one night, and they had done an investigative thing on this guy that panhandled right on 280.
Mm-hmm.
They had followed him for like a year, and then he got arrested and ended up. They tallied the numbers. The guy made like $60,000 a year.
Wow, I believe it.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
In Birmingham.
You remember, like, if you think about it, there's so many hundreds of
$60,000.
cars that pass you. If you get $1 from half of those cars, that's
absolutely.
money.
Absolutely.
You know?
Well, the new thing I've been seeing too is where people will have their kids out there with them.
He knows.
Oh.
Two knows. He watches like 8 on your side and shit.
That happened to me when I was at Publix one day. There was a family sitting in the parking lot, and they had a sign that says something. They're all smiling, and the mom's got the baby, and I'm like, really?
I know.
Yeah, you want to know what really chaps my dick though?
Yes.
Come on,
We're
Uncle
talking
Randy,
about
tell me.
this, I can't, and I don't know if it's the same for you guys, but I can't even look at our Facebook without having 55 GoFundMe's pop up
For everything.
for every fucking thing.
What about the
Like,
donate
when
for
did-
my birthday?
I was just going to say that.
When did everyone start dying and no one had life insurance? Because no one I know pays for their funeral anymore. Nobody. Every person I know on my Facebook feed, when someone dies, it's a GoFundMe immediately. I'm like, for fuck's sake, man. Maybe I just need to. Maybe I'm the outside.
No.
I need to get on board and start.
Well, but it's not even GoFundMe's just for when people die either. It's
For
like
everything.
like for every
Yeah,
fucking
somebody
thing.
gets
We have a
wronged for
hardship.
something. Or
Yeah, we have a
Somebody
hardship and
gets
can't pay our
wronged.
mortgage, bitch. That's life. Like, figure
Oh,
the
that
fuck
is life
out.
for sure.
Right.
You know?
think everybody's always like, I have so much money. I know exactly where my mortgage is coming from.
No, you know
Right.
what I did
It's-
when I was broke as a joke. When me and Brooke first got together, both fresh off divorces and were broke. I pretty much kept a gun out of my mouth is what I did and fucking cried myself to sleep every night. And I made it through it. You know what? I never posted a GoFundMe.
Yeah, we ate a lot of ramen noodles
Yeah.
and
Fuck, man. I mean, I've been where I've had to pawn shit before. I've been, on both sides of the
oh god, we sold
fucking
so much
spectrum.
stuff.
that the GoFundMe is I don't know, it really chaps my dick. It's unnecessary. I'm all for it in certain very rare instances, but it's so fucking common now.
Yeah.
Drives me mad.
No, I'm with you. And I think
Yeah.
it hurts. It does like chaps us because we've worked so hard to get where we are.
Yes.
And everybody's looking for handouts. And it's like, no, motherfucker, like work hard and you'll get shit. But Chris and I have been in
Right.
the same boat. We've eaten fucking ballpark hot dogs and ramen noodles, and that's all we've had.
We also have been together for a long fucking time, so we've
Yeah,
we've
but
been
it
in,
doesn't
we've
have
been in
nothing to
some,
do with our financial situation.
hell yeah, it does. How good is your financial situation when you're 20?
Well, nobody's as good when you're 20, but yeah, I mean, Randall and I, as full grown ass adults, had some real serious.
Yeah, we were 30 coming out of divorces, and I mean, especially on my side, I just got some clothes. And that was it. It was a nightmare. But you lived through it. I mean, looking back on it, the thing is, as hard as it was financially, we had some of the best times together during that time, as far as
absolutely.
fun, because shit, when you're broke, you're broke. So what the fuck, you can have fun doing
You're either
anything.
going to wallow in it and make yourself and everybody miserable, or just fucking just
now-
work your ass off and then have fun when you're not working, and just it absolutely people going on Facebook asking for money and going on social media starting campaigns to get money and not actually doing anything for it absolutely makes my blood boil.
maybe
Real.
I'm just salty because I missed out. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, a little part of it could be like, why wasn't that fucking shit around? But I wouldn't.
I couldn't have
couldn't
done
It
it.
wouldn't.
anyway.
No,
I
I
couldn't
wouldn't
do
have
it.
done it. There's no fucking way. I wasn't going to my parents asking for money. Like,
God, no.
I
And
mean-
my parents would be like, bitch, you give me money. I'm more broke than you.
Well,
parents
I got
still owe
one
me
more
money.
for you, and it's another man who he's fallen on hard times as well. We're right here in the Bay Area in Clearwater, where a Florida man asked cops for help to start the motorcycle that he just stole.
hell yes, that's balls.
Raymond Millwater,
is-
which is fucking name of the goddamn night for me. Raymond
He's definitely
Millwater.
from Gibsonton.
He's from Clearwater, babe.
No.
Raymond Millwater is just 30 years old, but he's already been jailed nearly 24 times.
Oh wow.
His latest trip to the Slammer came after someone reported seeing a possibly intoxicated man pushing a motorcycle down a road in Clearwater. Police responded and said they found Millwater standing unsteady near the bike. He told them he borrowed it from a man named Chad, but he couldn't get it to turn on. Not deterred, Millwater asked officers if he could borrow a screwdriver from them to get the motor running.
Oh, gee.
Borrowed it, but he didn't give you a key.
They
me
declined. The officer declined, but they did, however, contact the owner of the bike. Not surprisingly, he was not Chad. The owner
Chaz with a Z.
the owner denied even knowing him.
oh my
That
god,
does
that's
surprise me.
hysterical. Oh,
Dear God.
poor
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Mill water from Clearwater.
Mill water from Clearwater.
Wow.
Oh, the balls on that guy.
Yeah.
I wonder how drunk he was. I mean, that's you got to be real drunk.
Or something. Yeah.
Yeah, well, no telling. No telling
Well,
down
it's
here,
Florida,
buddy.
so he's probably either drunk or on meth. Because those are usually the two common denominators.
If he was on meth, he wouldn't have a problem standing up straight.
So what is it exactly? I mean, because I was listening to, mine and Chris, we both are fighting over who's best friends with Rogan. We're both really close with him. But he was just talking about Florida, too, recently in one of his episodes about how fucking crazy it is. I mean, is it just because so many fucking people retire there? What has made it? Because it is the most fucked up place.
I don't even think it's retired. I think it's just so many people have moved here. Like, there's just so many humans here.
And there's so many homeless people that get cheap drugs.
It's real easy to be homeless. Yeah, it's real easy to be homeless. I mean, weather's nice.
All year long.
Tu and I say that all the time. When it's summertime's coming up, we're like, shit's about to ramp up.
There's going to be naked prostitutes on
Shit's
porches.
about to ramp up.
All kinds of shit. But he won't.
That's hilarious.
He came to Tampa one time when there was a UFC here, and he ain't been back since. And what year was that?
It was 10 years ago because shout out to the homie Kaz from the Hood Diner. His wife just bought him tickets to go see Rogan in Phoenix in December.
Nice.
And we started talking about it. And I was like, yeah, it's been a minute since we saw Rogan. And I dug up them pictures from your Facebook because we took pictures with Joe when he was here. And they were literally like the first pictures we ever posted on Facebook when we first got it, like 10 years ago.
Hey, Randall, did you have a picture with Joe Rogan?
He does not.
No,
Well,
but
Chris is his best friend then.
Actually, I think you're his best friend because in the picture with me, he looked kind of disgusted. In the picture with you, his grin was a mile fucking wide.
He's got Joe Rogan face like a mother. He's like, "Ew," like
His picture with me, he was like, just another fucking
and I'm
guy.
like this. I'm like,
yeah, it's fucking nuts. But see, the thing is where me and Rogan, we have an agreement. He understands that I'm not a big fan of his I don't look at him as a comedian for some reason. Like, I don't think he's very funny as a comedian. I love him as a podcaster and a fight caller.
Yeah.
Like,
Here's
really
how I discovered his podcast even, and it wasn't because I knew he was a comedian or anything like that. I was looking for something because I drive a lot for work. I mean, I still do, and I was looking for something UFC related. And I saw he had a podcast, so I'm like, oh, cool. Well, if I can hear about some fights. And it was like episode 65 or something of the Joe Rogan Experience.
Good gracious.
And it was Andy Dick or Bill Burr or something like, it was super fucking old. And I was like, the podcast was brand new to me. I'm like, what the fuck is this? They're just talking. And then it was funny. So I'm like, yeah, I'm all into it, man. And then found out he had, stand up and shit from there and went down that road. But now, if you see his stand-up and you listen to his podcast, chances are you've heard 90% of the shit anyway.
true.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but so
That's what I tell Randall, and he's like, I don't know, I just don't like it. I'm like, I don't know. He just has like a mental block with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. I mean, I think he's obviously great at everything, but for me, he's not the kind of comedian. But I had a question, and before I forget,
Hit me, and then we got to take this break because I got cotton mouth like a motherfucker.
Yeah. Well, all right, let's do that because this might segue into when we start talking about something else, but it's a burning question I've got to ask.
A burning question. Consider me peaked, sir. All right, let's take a break. I got to get a drink.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Oh, hey, didn't see you there. My name's Michelle, and I'm the host of the comedy show called Welcome to My Show. It's a variety show where I do whatever I want, because it's mine. It's my show. Sure, I have some regular segments, like browsing through the nasty bits of Craigslist, taste testing bugs and other gross garbage, and listener-submitted stories. But other times, I go off the rails and do things like telling my sad, sad future by reading my palm, almost joining the Illuminati, and calling weird men who randomly add me on Facebook. It's real bad. Don't ever listen to this show. Reverse psychology. Works every time. Welcome to my show.
Yo, it's your boy Joe B from the NE Podcast on the Inner Circle Podcast Network. And I just want to say, yo, Chris, Mr. Wesky, Lunchbox, what up? Dude, that was a dope game of Podcast of the Roundtable, and congratulations on your motherfucking win. boy. Holding it down for that circle. Circle's up.
Coming to you live from this married couple's kitchen with their friend Two Rings, this is the hashtag No Offense Show. Splash. This is the plunge leading you into hashtag No Offense. You guys better get ready for Florida stories, swampy whores, and Sundays. Listen to this hashtag No Offense. You better not get offended or else you're a little bitch. Only on the Inner Circle Podcast Network.
I know y'all are Iron Men. You don't normally take breaks, but I've worked it into the show now, so now it's a thing every week. I mean, that's when we run our promos anyway. So
Nice.
Yeah. I'll just get up and go if I have to pee. I'm like, I gotta fucking piss. I'll be right back.
yeah, I used to do that. Too. Our old co-host didn't like it much because I used to usually wait until he was like talking about something. And I'm like, all right, cool, I can go to the bathroom.
That's because he doesn't stop talking and you have plenty of time.
Well, I had to take a break right then because I was super cottonmouth, and that's been a problem with this coffee. I've been drinking this cold brew coffee since I've been doing the diet and stuff. And like last night, man, I was so wired on coffee for Podcast at a Roundtable that like by like the 45-minute mark, I couldn't, like, my tongue was like, it felt like it had hair growing on it. Like I couldn't concentrate. Like that's, and I didn't want to get up because we were on video. You know, so I didn't want to get up and like go get some water or anything. And she was upstairs watching it, and I'm like, I'm stuck. I can't do anything. I was sucking on an ice cube at one point.
Thing on the video, like,
it was live. Nobody cared.
I wouldn't know what you meant.
I
you could have pointed at
I didn't
me
even
and been
fucking
like,
think about that.
You know, and I would be like, you
damn.
Or you could have texted her.
That's true. That's true too.
That's true too. I
Your
was so
idea is way better. That's why you're the brains.
Well, I was so locked
Way
into
better.
what I was in the middle of. I mean, like it was a very intense situation that I was not prepared for.
All right, so are you ready for my question?
Yeah, hit me with that question, that burning question, because my interest is still piqued.
Again, I was thinking of this when I do my best thinking in the shower, always, for some reason. I was like, you know what? What if, imagine the possibility of, whether it's tonight, tomorrow night, Sunday, that Mo Mandel is at the Comedy Store and sitting there with Joey Diaz and Joe Rogan, and they're like, what the fuck did you do this weekend, Mo? And he's like, I had an audition Friday, and and I judged this indie podcast show. Fucking, they do some roundtable shit, and I judged it for some guy that we've done some shit with. Oh, for real? How was it? Somehow Chris Watsky gets to Joe Rogan. Just imagine that. That's a real possibility. Or Joey Diaz.
Well, you know that the Mo Mandel connection now gives you like 1 degree of separation to Joe Rogan. Literally.
Yeah, I mean,
because he hangs out with him at the Comedy Store.
At the Comedy Store.
Damn,
I want you both
The look on Chris's
to realize that show last night ended. We got off about 11:30, right? Mm-hmm. Somewhere in that neighborhood.
Too late.
By 12. By 12, I was in bed next to Dutchie, wide awake. She was trying to fall asleep, and I was telling her what you just said.
Oh, nice.
I was telling her, I said, think about this. Potentially, this guy's gonna see this and think these guys are awesome, and they're like, everything's happening. Everything's fucking happening.
Yeah, because they know which podcast you're from now, so then they're going to listen, and they're going to be like, fuck that dude. Duchess is where it's at.
And then I got a call today from Chris, and he said the same thing to me too.
Hell yeah, I called him on the way home from work. I was like,
that I'm awesome?
Well, no, but
that literally never comes up. Literally never.
Wow, okay. Thanks.
I mean, that's just a given,
I was super, I was, of course, super happy when Brooke saw the message back from Mo before I did, and she texted me and said, we got the message back, Chris won.
Well, I said, Chris won Podcast of the Roundtable, so you need to announce it. I was like, sorry, I checked the message like right when it came up.
Yeah, so I called, I called Chris, of course. I was super stoked. I mean, that was just fucking fantastic. I had no idea how Mo was going to go. No one did. So I was wanting to get your thoughts on how you feel about having a judge. Do you think it's a better idea than putting it out to votes? Because I love how well this went.
I do too, and obviously I'm biased because I was part of the I was part of this, where it worked out in my favor. But I mean, I went back and I rewatched the video, and as you know, when you watch the video again, it puts the comments that were made in the original live stream. It pops them up as you watch them as they happened in the chat, and I mean, I have no doubt that if it went to vote, that I probably would have lost a vote. Just because of, the way that it goes, the way that it went last time, the way that it's going to go every fucking time, and I realize this now. And I mean, this is a good way to lead into this too, because I mean, like, one of my questions for you, I was going to ask you, what made you start a show like this? Because I mean, like, there's so much into this, man. Like, this is so much more. I mean, maybe I'm speaking for you, but it's like so much more than like I ever expected it to be, and I'm super into it. Like, I'm like
I love listening.
I'm like the biggest fan of this show. Like, I'm serious. Like, at the first one,
I love your
I'm
guys'
sitting
other
there with
show
my
too,
notepad and my, I'm making my judging marks and shit. I've like fucking Cecil Peoples and shit. I got my little thing and fucking making my things, and I'm like, oh well, he had this one on this one, and I'm taking points away for this.
I like the judge thing too, and I like it that Mo does it because he's unbiased.
Well, he did this one.
That's what I mean. Like, it's going to be different people every time?
Oh no,
yeah.
I don't know.
The next we've got we've got a few people lined up. They're comedians, which first was important to me also that they have some sort of comedian. Richard Tillman has agreed to judge it. I think we're going to use him next. He's done stand up, he's done movies, so I think he'll be a good judge. And I'm going to put out more feelers to other comedians to be judges. I think. As long as Brooke's on board.
You should have held Amy Lau to be. Of course, she's going to be fun.
She can judge after she's on it.
Yeah.
She's on episode 4 coming up, and then she could judge after that. Because I want people that are unbiased, have no ties, because this Mo thing was so clean, so easy.
It was so fast.
And so fast.
I was like, oh my God, it's done.
I was surprised actually. I was surprised how quick it went. I didn't know if he was going to be like in the chat last night, or if he was watching live, or if he was going to watch it afterward. Or
yeah, he said he watched a bunch of it and then finished it today while he was working out. And it sounds like he just immediately messaged us when he finished. He said, "All right, I just powered through the last part of it, and I think I sent it to you. Where the winner is ... But I guess to answer your question about what made me think of it, of course, it goes back to that very first Rumble that we did. You hosted it, right? You were the host, Chris?
Jody
was the first one. You did the second one, right?
No, I wasn't involved in the second one.
No, Dave and Almy did the second one.
What was I'm thinking.
That was the roast, I think.
He's thinking the roast.
Almy's roast, I did,
okay. Yeah, so it's from all those things because, for one, those were fun, but I was like, you know what? There's so much talking over each other that the people that are great aren't getting highlighted just because there's so much going on. I mean, because, that's not for me. I'm definitely not. It's not my cup of tea, but there's so many talented folks in this whole group of podcasters that I was trying to think, what can we do? For one, that'd be good. And then, I was sitting there watching Around the Horn on ESPN. I was like, that's fucking it right there. That's fucking it. Mm-hmm. And I ran it by Brooke, and she loved it.
Well, the idea was already like, you came to me and were like, hey, we're going to do this show. It was you and John that like ironed it out, because you had already come up with the idea that like me and John would be residents, and we would rotate in other podcasters. And I was like, all righty, let's go. Like, I really had no hand in this.
Well, I didn't expect it. For one, that so many people would be down to come on, because I would be terrified. It's not my cup of tea. I couldn't imagine.
Bitch, who says I wasn't?
It's definitely a challenge.
Chris expressed,
being on the spot. And that's what I was going to say about Chris's performance as a host watching it last night. I could tell, and I knew from talking to him, that he was a little nervous coming into it. But, his balls of steel, because he volunteered right away to be on it. But the way that he settled in, I was wondering, after you look back, do you think it was the tit question too, where you zoned in? Because I think that's where you decided, I'm going to win this motherfucker.
It was about 30 minutes in, I felt to myself, I was like, you suck right now. And I don't know what it was, but somebody had just answered something, and I was like, fuck, why didn't I think of that? And I'm like, internally, I'm like, get it together, bitch, or else you ain't even gonna have a fucking chance. And then it was either that question, or there was another one that I felt like I did well with, and that was enough to fucking like snap me back into it. Like the fighter that has to take a punch on the fucking chin to like realize he's in a fight. Like, oh yeah, here we are. Okay, let's do it. And I mean, not saying that like I crushed the rest of it, but I felt a lot more comfortable with it from there on out.
I was pretty disturbed with your titty descriptions, because in the chat they were like, okay, get get ready to hear about Duchess's titties, and I'm like, bitch, I ain't got Indiana on my chest. My nipples don't look like baby toes. Like that is not a good representation of my breastal area.
I could tell he was just being funny for that.
He also had to hit the criteria in the question, which are important because I know that not everyone's going to do that. It's so subjective, right?
Sure.
As a contestant, I can only imagine. You're like, what do I do? Do I try to, especially knowing there's a judge, do I try to make my friends laugh or should I try to follow the rules, answer every part of the question and think that the judge, whoever it is, might be looking at that? Because that may have been what Mo looked at. Was he may have been like, you know what, I want to see who answered every part of every question, if it's, somewhat plausible and if it was funny.
Well,
that's how I feel like.
That's what I told him in the car today when we were talking about it, because I'm like, you answered the question honestly and you made it funny. You didn't make the question a joke. You didn't make it, I mean, you could. But I'm just saying,
Sure.
I think that it's funnier to me personally if you answer the question honestly and make it funny, instead of just making fun of the question. If that makes sense.
I'm not what I would consider a quick wit either. Like when we do our own show, like I prepare, and I mean, like it's not that I have like it's not scripted by any means, but I mean, like I'm looking at my notes. I have to have my thoughts in front of me, or when we're done, I'm like, fuck, I meant to talk about that, and I forgot because Randall, I might be retarded. Like.
Might be. Question mark.
You're gonna get it.
I always do.
But I felt like it was better for me, obviously, when I wasn't the first one, because like I had and I mean, here's a little insight to people that are going to appear in the future. I had a notepad and a pen right here, and I'm sure if you went back to the video, you go back and you can watch me writing shit down. Like
I was trying to be like,
I saw Wutzke's little fucking pencil or pen on fire at one point.
I broke the fucking clip at one point, and I'll tell you why too. It was when you mentioned Michael Jackson in your answer, and my mind was starting to go there, and you said that. You see my hand come up like I was gonna go, fuck, and I broke the goddamn pen in my hand. I'm like, motherfucker, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm still doing it.
I could tell you were mad about that. You're like, God damn it, bro. You're not gonna say it.
Well, that's what I was gonna say to you too. Like when you say you're not a quick way to get like. I've listened to your show, all of you guys. I've been fans for a long time. Y'all know that. We caught you guys pretty early on in our part and started listening regularly. And you've said it so many times, I'm not a comedian. I'm not a comedian. That's not my thing. And I know you're not a comedian per se, but these are all skills that can be learned that I didn't necessarily think that was true before I became a podcaster because I've seen you get quicker since I've known you, way quicker. And, it's like... It's like anything, you surround yourself with the right people. You want to be better. You take what works and what doesn't, and you incorporate it, and you grow. But not just you. I mean, you watch Brooke, first performance on the Roundtable.
Absolutely.
For one, I mean, it's never been her cup of... She's not one that would ever even do a podcast if I didn't make her. And so,
shout out to Two Rings.
So from where she went to where she was last night, I mean... I don't care whether she wins or not. Like I told her I was so proud of her last night because the first episode, her answers were 3 seconds each. And then last night I was warning her on time. The first time ever. I had to warn her twice about time.
That's one thing that I said to Dutch, and I said, because immediately when it was over, like you said, the crew was hitting me up. Adam was in the chat, and he was hitting me up, and Joe B and all the guys, and I was like, man, to see the last, I mean, this is the third time to see you've progressively, Brooke, have gotten better each time, like just more comfortable with the formatting and just just quicker, and and that's going to happen, the more you do it, but
just like anything, yeah.
Well,
I like to see John getting a little bit of respect too, because it's turned a lot of people onto John, and that's one thing that I thought was flawed with the voting too, and I've been very vocal about is that I think John absolutely deserves more than 4% of a fucking popular vote.
Agreed.
Of course,
he's fantastic. Last episode 2, I thought he was a strong second place.
Easily, 100%. I'm with you. I wouldn't have argued if he would have won. I couldn't have made a clear case if somehow he would have been declared a winner. I couldn't argue against that. And that's the other thing that I wish I could find out. And I don't, I'm I'm sure I'll never ask Mo, but just how he seated everybody.
I was going to say, ask him for that scorecard, man.
Yeah, I might
Right?
do that because he did the.
Ooh, I wonder if he just if he used it, if he went in, because I just shared it.
You
with
know
him
what I
on
could do?
Google.
I could. You know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to ask him if he'll sign it and send it, and I'll send it to you.
Ooh.
You can
That'd
hang
be
it in your
cool.
studio
We
when
could
you get a
frame that
place.
shit.
It's signed by Mo Mandel.
I would like that, man. I would like that because
We'll put it right above the fucking shoes.
Awesome. I've really gotten into it, man. And I mean, I like the competition aspect of it, and I think it's got a lot to do with that. I've known all the people that have competed so far too, so I have a little bit of skin in the game. But I mean, like, I love it, man. When it's time for this, I've been looking forward to this episode for weeks because I knew I was on it. I mean, I was nervous as shit. You know, I've never done anything with Doug before. I've never done anything with John before. I know him obviously from being around, but I mean, like, I was nervous as shit.
I walk in the door and he's like, "Woo!" and he's grabbing me by the shoulders. And I'm like, "You're gonna do great."
He's doing like jumping jacks and pull ups and
know.
shit.
You know what's most gratifying to me, and I don't know about if Brooke would agree with this or not, but it's that everyone that's been on it has said afterwards, like, that shit was harder than I thought.
Oh, so I was just about to ask him if he thought it was harder.
Nobody's come on
than
and been like, that shit was a breeze. Even Almy. Almy was like, dude, I was sweating. I was working, for God's sakes. And I mean, y'all know how much he can talk.
Oh yeah. I had to check him in the chat.
Oh, I was okay because like in the chat we can't see the whole chat the whole time, but like John will push some of the comments through, and I saw one of the first ones that I was reading was Almy's, and of course I couldn't read the whole thing, and then the next one that he'd pushed through was yours, where it was like, when you have to click see more, it means you said too much, Almy. I was like, oh fuck,
You know what?
I wanted to say something so bad.
And I didn't even click see more. I just read to the dots. I was like, "Fuck this dude."
Yeah.
She gives him such
down.
shit. She's giving him such
He
a
told
complex.
me, he's like, "You're giving Albie a complex." I'm like, "Good, maybe he needs one."
No.
Well, shit.
He does. He's not.
You can't say to me, Chris, you were a good friend, but you straight up told him on your episode, couldn't vote for you, bro.
You went over
Went
on
over
time.
on time. Like, that's where you gained my respect as the biggest, the best analyst of Podcast of the Roundtable. Way better than me. Like, I was like, Wutsky is the official analyst.
Oh,
Like,
I
he's the
know.
Rogan, because you were like, that's what Rogan would have said. It's like he said to Shab, you need to retire. You know, you were like, bro, I couldn't vote for you. Can't even lie to you. You went over.
Oh, after like y'all's breakdown of the first episode, when we did the second one, I was like, I can't wait to hear hashtag no offense, because I want to hear what Wutsky and them have to say about it.
But see, and this is actually, you know, like I said, this has kind of become our thing. You know, after the first two episodes, we've had one of the competitors from the show come on and talk about it or whatever. So, I mean, like, obviously you guys are here this time. Next month, I mean, well, shit, Joe B's going to be here in a couple weeks, so I'm going to overshoot that. Maybe I'll get John to come on next month and talk to us a little bit about it. But
Yeah.
Yes.
I like having that, that connection to the show, because I really dig it, you know. And like you said, like, you laid out the rules, you laid out the parameters. I'm like, I don't care if you're my friend, dude. Like, if you didn't do it right, you didn't do it right, you know.
True.
And that's what chapped my ass so much about episode 2 with the thing. I'm like, you know, which I've opened my eyes to it now, because I realize, yes, most people are going to just vote for their friends. That's just that's how it's going to go in a situation like that. And nothing against any of them for it. I mean, I get it. You should squad like that. I respect that.
Yeah. Sure.
But I respected the show more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
Sure,
I voted
yeah.
for Jody because I felt Jody won. And I deducted points from Elmy because he talked over time fucking twice. Go figure, you know?
Go figure is right.
Like, I thought last
Elmy.
night, I thought I hurt myself because I wasn't filling time. I'm like, I'm only talking for 30, 45 seconds out of 3 minutes. I'm like, I hope they don't fucking knock me off for that. But
I don't think a judge would knock that either, as long as you're not over it, because that's the only thing we mentioned.
Right.
You know, that's the only clear rule, is you just can't go over the 3 minutes. But I mean, since you're the, like, I've got one other question about the show, just because I respect all of you guys and what you think of the show. Is still ironing out, of course, a lot of things, and what I hate is that, you know, I've definitely made mistakes in the show, but I've never done a fucking show like this, like trying to work out the kinks. I hope it's been as transparent as possible, trying to get this on the right path. But me and you were talking earlier, Chris, you were talking about how we're going to seed the winners.
yeah.
And I hadn't even thought of the March Madness comparison until you said it. And that makes sense. So your idea, or what you were thinking, is do 2 and 2, like episode 1 and 2 winners face off, and that winner advances, and then episodes 3 and 4 winners face off and we move through like that.
That's and I don't know why I assumed it was going to be that way, but that's just how I assumed it was going to go. For no reason other than, I mean, I just fucking did.
Sure.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like that would make sense to me. I mean, 1 and 2, like, yeah, just bracket it up. I mean, I don't know when you intend to, like do I guess, well, I mean, I don't even know what you're calling it. The fucking season of champions or fucking whatever they call it in game show world. I don't fucking know.
Yeah. I don't know either yet.
How many episodes are we doing before we do the
My whole
All-Star?
point was to do 1 year, right? And so if we do 1 year, my original plan was to do 4 episodes, have 4 winners, and those 4 would do a super episode, and you'd have 1 winner, and then at the end of the year, you'd have 3 competitors and me to do a year, the champ.
Yeah, that sounds
So
cool.
you're going to come on as a contestant? Can I host?
That'd be cool.
No, you're right.
Damn.
We would be short. It would be 3. Yeah, my math's off. I'm thinking I'm a 4th. There's 5 total.
Right.
I'm an idiot.
No.
See, that's why you keep you around.
I told you earlier,
So-
she's the brains.
Yeah, for sure. There's no doubt about it.
We definitely have that in common.
We've got to iron that out for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I will. I don't know. I think one time I'm going to probably make you compete and me host.
I'm never going to compete.
It's
I don't have an interest.
Well, we'd have to have somebody come up with questions for you because I found out last night that the questions come from you. I didn't realize that. I thought that they were submissions
or something. Yeah, or submissions.
No, this is all Randall.
That's
like
awesome.
the questions we get on our Married AF show is like listener questions, but the podcast of the Roundtable is straight up all Randall coming up with shit to ask. That's why it's such a random mixed bag of shit because it's like it's on purpose. It's accidentally on purpose, I think, because that's just how his brain works. Like he's like, oh, I'm really gonna throw him for a loop on these, and then
take some ayahuasca and then just fucking and goes to a different dimension and comes up with some shit.
Yes, basically.
That's cool.
Try to see where people are gonna go. I mean, if I had to say though, the greatest. If we were doing an award, the greatest answer of all time so far still in all the shows would be Adam's.
Absolutely.
I shit my pants. I thought it was over.
I gave him a shout last night to it because you were like, you can't say Jesus. I was like, oh, where's Adam?
Yeah, I had to put that in there because I don't know. I went back and I didn't show it as much on my face as it felt when Adam said that.
I wanted to just throw my chair over and walk out when he said that.
Face.
Like, fuck, Adam?
I was so conflicted because it was funny.
Right.
It was offensive.
All of it.
It was everything. And I was like, what do I do?
What was the actual question? Who is the greatest fictional character?
No. It was
mythological.
If you could have a mythical creature be real, what would you pick? And Brooke was dragons, and John was like Wonder Woman, Amazon, and
Dave was mermaids.
Dave said mermaids or
course he
something,
did.
and then Adam just was like Jesus Christ, mic drop. And he was already, in my opinion, at that point he was rolling, like he was winning round,
Jesus Christ.
and then he hit that one, and I'm like, he just fucked. That was the exclamation. That was the fucking knockout right there, man.
Yeah, that was the dick pick. That was the dick pull out. Like that was for sure. Like I was like,
slap.
good God, that was not
Superman.
what I was expecting. But, those are the kind of things though that I find the best part for me more so than competing is I just like to listen. It gives me an idea of where people's heads are. And that's what I respect about, Doug, everybody that's been on the show, because Doug, was gracious enough. He texted us afterwards and was like, man, it was harder than I thought.
He reached out to me this morning and said the same thing.
He does that shit for, that's his whole deal. Like you never know with Doug. Mm-hmm. So for somebody that's always thinking like that to acknowledge it's tough, I was like, that's fucking, I don't have any interest.
I'm being on that side of it.
Yeah, none.
It is. It's super. I mean, give me a good serial killer question though, and I will take up my 3 fucking minutes.
Brooke, let me tell you, I was re-listening today, and when it got to that point, I was like, you dumb fuck, you misfired your grenade, and that would have been tailor-made to fucking blow up Brooke. What?
I expected somebody to grenade her. I swear, when I wrote the question, I was like, somebody's going to grenade.
I
it.
couldn't
They're
believe
smart.
I didn't get a grenade there. I was like, what?
Well, I watched Wutsky when you did the false grenade, the premature ejaculation grenade with Doug, and you were so mad at yourself for a second. You hit it, but you're like, ugh.
Randall, I told myself before I got on, because that part always confuses me. I know that everyone gets one grenade, but I always forget that you can only grenade one person once. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm telling myself before I get on, I'm like, don't forget, fucking dummy, okay? One person, one time. And I knew John already got him, but I was like, fuck it, I got to get him. And he was so, I've already been done once and didn't even miss a beat. Like, he just kept on fucking going. I'm like, God damn it.
He didn't even take a breath. No. He just kept talking.
Well, I thought I was going to get dinged for that, too.
I was embarrassed for you.
I was embarrassed for me.
I was like, oh, and then I saw the chat, and I was like, oh.
Oh, no. Yeah, it's all good.
It happens.
Hey, well,
Somebody was like, did they
mean-
deduct a point for that? Because Joe B is so fucking competitive. Oh, you think they'll deduct a point for that? And then Kaz comes in. He's like, I think the embarrassment's enough.
Oh,
Dude, let me tell you, that's an inner circle thing. You guys are the most competitive motherfuckers.
God,
man.
you are. Yes.
I mean, the most competitive motherfuckers I've ever met. It is diehard. Joe B is a champion of this shit. Down to like, if I could write him a rule book, he would want it in PDF, like, sent to him immediately. So
we
he
might
could,
need to get one of those.
Joe B's the
study
worst.
the rules. Dude, he is all about it.
He's going to be here next week, and he's going to fucking fight you.
He can fight me. I'm taller than him. I'll take his ass. He might wear a weighted vest, but I got the height advantage.
Facts.
Get him some platforms.
Wasn't you can only get a grenade once? Wasn't that just on it started the second episode? Because didn't Almy get a grenade twice
Probably
on
just
the first
to shut
episode?
him up.
Jesus,
Yeah.
babe.
I don't know if he got grenaded.
I thought
twice.
Joe or Jody and John.
No, because
Grenade.
he only got grenaded. Jody B really fucked him on the SNL joke that Almy wrote during. Like, I watched him write it and got. He really fucked Almy on that.
He still
I
said
thought
it though,
that
didn't he?
He said it.
Yeah, he
because
still fucking
we wanted
said
to hear
it.
it.
He's
But
like, I
we
spent
were
all
like-
this time in this joke. I'm gonna fucking say it, and then he said it anyway. I'm like, he should have been able to fucking say it.
Well, and let me tell you what, too. He's still bitter over episode 1. Like, I haven't lived it down, and I doubt I ever will, because immediately when this was done, he was like, yeah, I mean, like, I don't know what to do with this show. I don't know if the point's to be entertaining or if the point's to win. Like, because I thought I was entertaining, and I still lost.
He literally said, I can't wait
Jason.
not to vote for Wutsky. Like,
said,
he
"Look,
literally
dude."
has said that.
I said, between you and Jody, flip a fucking coin, dude. That's how close it
Right.
was. I thought it was right there, dude. I just went the other way based off of this, okay?
Ba-
Well, and Jody's demeanor is just so like chill.
Jody's,
but he's so
he's that
funny
motherfucker Jody B, dude. He's the
Motherfucker
coolest
Jody.
motherfucker in podcasting, dude. He's just
Dude,
sitting
he
back.
isn't
He's a sniper,
He
dude.
is an assassin. Exactly. That's where I was
Yes.
going to go. I was going to say he's an assassin. Thing is, you never felt him. He doesn't get rattled. His tone doesn't change. His speed doesn't change. Like, he's so consistent. I think that's what got him over.
That is so the opposite
scotch.
of me. You can tell every ounce of any emotion I'm feeling when I'm talking.
Well, yeah, because when she got the serial killer question, she almost pulled her tits out just because she was.
That would have been like the
finally
third time
got-
she almost did that.
I know. I finally got a question I know.
This
Here's
one's
the
for
tit.
me.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't even know who fucking 2 people that were on that
BTK,
list.
and what was the other one?
Wutsky's
Zodiac.
like, I don't know
I'm
who
like,
these-
that's Jake Gyllenhaal. I don't fucking know who that is, man.
For shame. Yeah. Well,
Yeah, and speaking of that,
that's my wheelhouse right there.
I'm with you.
a little teaser, and and then we can get off this if you want, because I don't want to tie your whole show up with it. But there's something in the works possibly with Brooke and Doug about something that was discussed on the last episode that might turn into something in the future.
Uh-oh.
Are you guys starting a true crime podcast together?
I don't know.
He will not be listening.
I'm sorry. I can't
hates
listen.
true crime podcasts.
But I'll retweet you.
He said even the bad ones get more listens than like really good shows.
That's my beef with true crime, and that's just me being salty because you guys know this podcast and things are grind, and it's you pour everything into it, and you're like, where the fuck are the people? I mean, until you hit that stride, and you develop your fucking audience. It's like, where are they? I'm doing all this work. Where are they? You put true crime behind anything, and a shitty fucking podcast will get 10,000 downloads in the first month just because it's fucking talking about serial killers.
Yeah.
Dude, no shit.
It's insane. I mean, and I consume that shit for probably 20 hours a day.
I started downloading Atlanta Monster, and literally half their podcasts are commercials, like 15 minutes. So I deleted them.
Because that guy is getting paid.
I know.
The same guy that does Atlanta Monster did Up and Vanished, which was like, he's from Georgia. He's from Atlanta, actually. I think Payne Lindsay, he lives in like Kennesaw, like down the street from our old house. But
so it's not just a clever name.
I guess. But he after that Up and Vanish podcast, he like fucking is making bank, and Atlanta Monster is one of his. So it's like 12 big sponsors. But that's a good podcast too, though.
It used to be. I listened to it, and then, like I
the
said,
first
a lot
one
of them
is.
were commercials or like promos for other shows. So I'm like, fuck this, and I unsubscribed.
But even indie true crime podcasts, like, I mean, it's insane.
That's
like
what I mean.
Murderish, who John edits it, but she's in California, and she's technically still an indie podcast, but I mean, she like has become friends with a lot of people that are on some like bigger true crime podcasts, and now she's like friends with Josh Mankiewicz from Dateline,
And she's got 1 million downloads.
And she's
a
got-
million fucking downloads.
Just happens
more
like
than that.
man. That's
yeah,
crazy.
more millions.
I'm with you,
downloads.
Chris. Me and you are on the same link. Like, I'm salty as fuck. It's not my thing.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I listen to it so much, and
It's
some
her
of
thing,
some of
for
these
sure.
people are like my friends now too. Like even Steven Pacheco, who's the host of Trace Evidence, his podcast is about to hit his 2-year anniversary, and he just announced on Twitter he's hit 10 million downloads.
Shut the
10
fuck
million,
up.
Butsky.
10 million. Million.
Yeah.
I'm with,
I was like, what?
right. I listen to ghost podcasts like you listen to serial killer podcasts.
Yeah, she's balls deep in paranormal.
I need to find some ghost ones to like layer
I
in
could
there.
get down with ghosts before true crime, like for sure. And you should, like, I've told my parents came and visited us recently, and we were talking about when we talked to you about my grandpa that I saw when I
Oh yeah.
was
In the garden.
and that you were like, I told you that he had been dead 6 months, and you were like, "That's how long it takes." And then right after you said that, I heard that on some show or so that verified. I was like, "Fucking dead. She's a sorceress." Or
When I was
whatever.
like, why would she have just
How
lied
does she know?
to you?
Like, it was so on the money. 6 months.
I listen to all that
learn,
stuff.
like-
If you're looking for a ghost podcast, Beyond the Darkness is a good one. That's what I listen
Done.
to.
I like that guy. He's
Beyond
on
the
Chris
Darkness.
Jericho's podcast network. So like you get promos and
Schrader.
it's per the Jericho podcast network.
Nice.
Oh, hell
And
yeah.
he's really
The
cool.
Walls of Jericho.
Have you listened to No Sleep? Isn't there like a No Sleep podcast or something that's like ghost related?
No, I haven't
it's
heard of that.
scary.
I listened to, what did I just say?
Beyond the Darkness.
Beyond the Darkness,
Beyond the
Hillbilly Horror Stories, which is hilarious.
Ooh.
It's a husband and a wife team that talk about different ghost stories. They're really cute, and they've got like a real bad accent. So they're
Oh,
real
no.
sweet.
Nice.
And then I listened to Jim Harold's Campfire, which he's legit. He's like he's like a branch off of the Art Bell stuff, which Art Bell just recently passed. He's like big in paranormal. And
Yeah, that was Coast to Coast. Everyone knows Art Bell.
but those are my main ones. They're really good.
Oh.
Look, it's my fault.
need to-
I mean, it's my fault. There's no tougher genre to start a podcast in
Than
than
comedy.
In
comedy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For sure. I learned the same exactly. I was like, what the fuck, man? This is a slow... Dude, it's tough. I got love for everybody that does this shit. Just because, man, fucking no money. You strictly do it because you like it. You fight for every listener you get. I mean, dude, it takes a while to realize just how much, respect that. For the people that put out regular content, I can't hate on any of it. Like, fuck.
No.
I got to give you a thumbs up.
Absolutely.
Because
2019's been well to us. I mean, I can't be too mad. I mean, like each
No.
month is better than the last. I mean, not to suck my
Yeah.
own dick or anything, but I mean, like it's been less of a fuck, I can't believe we're still doing this. Why are we still doing this? To like, we're actually excited about doing it now. Well, I mean, we are.
Right.
What? Why are you looking at me?
Good.
Two Rings is
excited
here.
about doing it.
2 Rings is here.
Well,
Hey, what
according
up?
to John, everybody tries to suck their own dick when they're a teenager, right?
Yes,
No, that was
apparently
Doug.
that's
Oh, the
that's a
Doug?
thing.
Oh.
Yes, that's a thing.
Yeah.
And I immediately was going to say shout out to Thunder Cookies. What I mean, one last thing about the roundtable I wanted to ask you. I mean, like, ultimately, where do you want to see it go? Like, what would you want to see it turn into? I mean, like, would you be? No, I mean, and not that. I mean, I love Married AF. I mean, like, I've been subscribing to that forever. I wouldn't want to see it replace your main show. But I mean, like, what would you like to see it turn into?
I mean, if it were up to me, like what would be Randy fantasy would be like somebody'd be like, oh shit, I would love to pay you some money to actually bring in a better host than you, but you still reap the benefits of it.
Oh, there's no better host.
Think up some questions. That would be my dream. Like, somebody be like,
Pay
we'll
me
hand
for
you
my
this.
idea, and I don't have to do the work. Nice.
Yeah, like, totally. Because I mean, I'm never going to be one that's like I'm not dumb, I know that there's definitely better hosts. So if it grew enough and if it lasts a year, like, I mean, we're already booked up through now 10 months. We got 10 months of shows booked and people are doing well. So if it keeps up, shit, that's what I would like to do.
We might need to substitute me in for a couple episodes. That's a lot of fucking episodes.
Well, and that's
for me
another
to
goal.
answer
I
questions on
wanna-
the fly.
I want to make this clear. Like, I definitely want more women to come on the show, and a lot of them on Twitter and all the socials be like, I want on the show. But I'm also a turd, like you said, Wutsky, with rules, right? I said from the jump, if you want to compete, any podcast host or entertainer, shoot me a DM. But all these people will just apply on Twitter. Why am I not in? But never send me the DM. You know what? If you can't follow the rule,
Right.
I can't win with you. Can't win with you. Can't play with
And
you.
even after you were saying that, people were still like commenting on Twitter
And not DMing me.
and then not DMing, not DMing me because I was the one on Twitter.
Sure. Well, either way, but it's the same.
He took a whole week break.
Twitter is the Wild West. You can't expect those people to
It
follow
is.
rules.
I still have trouble even reading Twitter.
Yeah, I would. She
Thank
won't get on
you.
it unless I
It's
make it to where it
hard.
alerts her. Like, hey, I'm talking about you. Come look at me.
It
She's
doesn't
like, "Fuck
matter.
Twitter."
Even
check
alerts
it.
though, you go look and it's like, what? I can't follow this shit because then it's like it says there's 17 comments. I only see 2.
Right.
And
That's
then,
the way
like,
I feel.
you got to go back up and like click on different shit. I'm like, this is too hard.
Just give me
It's too hard.
pictures.
Just fucking
I know that's
tell
right,
me-
Jason.
Hey,
know.
there's levels to the Twitter game. I've learned, and not to toot his own horn anymore, but Jody B is a fucking prime for Twitter. That's his world.
He don't get
can-
off of
Only
there.
social media he's on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
get
and
off
he
there.
he can meld in and out of it. He can be troll or the save and fix it guy. Like he can start the shit and fix it. And decide when it's going to be what. Like
All with himself with
Yeah.
different accounts.
he's a genius. He can fucking do it. But
Well, I tell you what, man. I mean, like with the attention that the last episode got, I mean, like negative or otherwise. I mean, it still was getting eyes on the show, and I mean,
Shit, yeah.
with Mo being involved in this one, I'm sure that's getting a little bit more attention. It's gonna only it's gonna only want people to be involved with it more. So I mean, that's what made me, think about where you ultimately would like to see it go, because I mean, people are gonna want a piece of this, and each episode gets better and better and
It
better.
does.
So I mean, I can't wait to see what the next one's going to be with. I think Joe B's on the next one, and I mean, he can only duck me for so long. If he pulls out
think
the
he's
win
gonna
in
have
episode 4, he's going to have to fucking face me if we bracket it. So fuck you, Joe B.
yeah, Joe B's episode 5.
Oh, is he?
With Kristen Beck?
I thought that was episode 4.
No, episode 4
It's
is
Larry and Amy
from
Lyle.
Drinks with Larry
Oh, cool.
and Amy Lyle.
Oh, okay. I thought Joe B was next.
Now, Joby wanted 5 in September.
And it
He's
was
the
because of
September
his,
show.
I think it was because of his schedule, I think, too, even.
Yeah, and I think he was a little, he didn't want to fist fight Wutsky.
That's all what it was. That's all what it was, because his schedule didn't keep him from being in the fucking comments last night.
Ooh, you know what?
Yeah. Keep
Shots
ducking me,
fired.
Joe. Keep ducking me, Joe.
Fighting words.
These motherfuckers, I'm telling
I'd
you.
pay for that.
Well, see, what's great now is, Husky's a champ.
I know.
He's
right?
the winner. He can give all of his, he's the first winner from Inner Circle. He can tell him to suck the big dick.
He can.
They gotta
He can.
They gotta take the belt from the champ. That's the thing.
Word.
And let me tell you what, the other guys were ecstatic about it too, because I mean we're all
Yes.
big fans of the show. I mean I'm a little bit more, like you say, like I like to I'm about the aspect of judging it, with the rules and everything. Like I'm very much like that, but we're all fans of it. I mean it's been fantastic.
Yeah.
It was a great idea that you had.
I wish I could take credit. I mean, it all spawned from the roasts and rumbles, because as fun as those were, they'd get my anxiety up.
Right.
Both of us. I'd
just
be like,
when-
I can't.
When you were hosting the roast, I was anxious for you, having to deal with that many people and shit. I was like,
hurting cats.
man,
yeah.
it's-
I didn't
making
want
me
to.
anxious.
Helmy made me. I didn't want to. He wanted me to be a roaster, and I said, "Fuck no, dude. No, I don't want nothing to do with that. I'll watch it. I'll support you. It's not my thing." Well, if you're not going to roast, I want you to at least host. And I said, not being familiar with roasting, I'm like, yeah, sure, fuck it, I'll host it. What do I got to do? Call people's names? Yeah, okay, I could do that. And then Adam was like, you got to write something too, dude.
You got to roast everyone, not just Almy now.
Are you serious? I had no clue.
So it was basically the same thing.
Yeah, it's basically the same
It was
thing.
worse because you had to do one for everyone.
Well, everybody kind of did one for everyone, but
I know. I had fun.
That's what introduced me to Adam, though, was his that first roast. He was so fucking good.
He was
That's
good.
what made me start listening to their show.
That's what introduced us to a lot of
these guys.
A lot
How
of these
talented they
right
are.
out, because I mean, we already were pretty tight with Jody and Amanda and them, and hashtag no offense too, but it was Adam and
Even Almy, because I had the stupid ass beef with him for 2 seconds. And I love that fucking guy.
no, but not by the roast.
that's where the smoke came
Where
from.
the smoke came from.
Yeah.
Yeah, not by the roast, because by the roast, we had already had him at our house.
Well, I know,
Right.
but it was still enough to where, remember, Almy's joke about me and the roast was, "Oh, I'm glad to see Randall was here. He's about as popular as Papa John's at
'cause
an
PJ
NAACP rally."
because at his roast, PJ still wasn't quite sure on what the status was or whatever, because that's when he brought up.
Yeah, he was confused. He was sticking up for his buddy. I understood what.
No,
PJ
but it was totally funny. But that's where we got introduced to a lot of these people as oh shit,
Yeah, so
I like them.
fuck, man. I mean, I guess all I said, there's just so much. There's so much fucking talent, but some of these women, I can't wait. Like Amy Lyle, Dutchie, Kristen Beck against Joby. Dude, I'd be shitting my pants doubly, because for one, he's got to do the show and answer on the spot questions.
Yes.
Number two, he's facing a woman that could kill him with
Her bare hands.
Yeah, her bare hands or anything in the room, and kill everyone he's ever known and loved, and they would disappear forever.
What do you think I told him, Randall? What do you think I told him today? I said, good luck answering your thoughts on the straight pride parade in your episode, fuckface. Have fun with that.
I don't think Randall's going to put that.
I've
I don't
got
know.
to.
He will,
I've
though.
I've got to put some about it, and Kristen would respect it, because she
Yeah.
loves to talk about it, and I've got to at least bring the topic to
Oh, God.
see who's got the ball sack to. I mean, I don't. I'm going to be like, yes, ma'am. Whatever.
Thanks,
Whatever
babe.
you say.
Thanks,
Yeah,
babe.
this round goes to you.
Oh, my God.
Well,
No, it's not easy.
I could talk about Roundtable and podcasting all night, but
sure.
there's one thing that I did want to ask you while I had you here, Randall, and that's I mean, I'm sure you guys heard our episode. We went into the float tank last week,
Yes.
and I feel like I made a serious connection to the alien world. I know I've heard before that you've dabbled in ayahuasca, and I was wondering if you would share
One
that
time.
experience with me.
Yeah, it was wasn't the it wasn't like the experience of, I've got a buddy that went to Colombia and actually went into the jungle and shit. I dabbled in it with some buddies in Las Vegas. And
What a spot!
I love Brooke's
You
face
know,
right now, by the way.
It was,
I know. I'm like, when was this?
it was
I have
still
no idea.
I didn't like it. because I'm not like psychedelics, mushroom. I've never, messed with any of that stuff.
Right.
And I'm such a control freak that losing control, it really more freaked me out.
That's how Jason is.
see-
That's why
Yeah,
Jason
that's-
won't do shrooms and stuff.
No,
No,
I'll
sounds
never
like
do
a-
it again, but I could see for people like Rogan and probably Brooke that,
Yes.
that will like let that come to them,
Yeah.
that it could unlock all kind of cool shit. I'm the guy that's going to sit there and be like, holy shit, there's a dragon on the wall. I'm going to fight that dragon, or I'm going to curl up and cry and start cutting myself. I don't know. Like, I'm not going to let it speak to me and tell me what it means. Brooke would look at it and be like, bro, what do you mean, dragon? What are we doing? And figure some shit out. I'm not going to figure anything out.
Dragon?
Wow, it's always about dick with you. It's always
Dick
all the
there
time.
too.
All the time with the dick. No,
Did you when we were watching, was it Endgame, and they were looking at they checked the dick out on the other guy, on the alien guy. That was Captain Marvel, when the scroll was on the table.
Oh,
and
yeah,
they lifted up the
Yeah.
sheet to see what his dick looked like. Everybody wonders.
I'm just gonna say I may or may not have a Thanos dick pic on my phone.
See?
Yep.
If you want to, if
you
you want to
go.
see, it kind of looks like a purple Randall, to be honest with you.
Purple Randall.
Oh, yeah.
After a few pull-ups, that's what Thanos' dick looks like.
Absolutely. I see it.
Exactly what his dick would look like. It's a purple
I can't refute that.
tattoos and everything.
But about your float tank thing, I'm glad you brought it up because I wanted to ask you, because you dove into it and that it was moving for you. But so you didn't have any of the freak out in there, either one of you. Neither
No.
one of you freaked out
I was
any or
doing
got
somersaults and shit.
claustrophobic.
I
or-
wouldn't be able to do it. I'd get claustrophobic as fuck.
No, I'm sure you've heard my story about the New Jersey cookie when I went to visit Adam.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I didn't want to repeat that again. And like you were saying, I think that the way that went so bad when I was in New Jersey was because I freaked out myself, and I kind of manifested this slippery slope black hole experience where I just fucking
Exactly what I did.
I
would do again.
I couldn't speak. I mean, thank God for Christina Almy, because she guided me through that weekend and I didn't die. But I knew that that's probably why that went the way it did. So with this, I was like, I'm like you said, I'm just going to let it come to me. I'm going to let it happen. And after hearing hours upon hours upon hours of our good friend Joe talking about this, I knew kind of how to, how to do it and how to just, relax. And I watched some videos about how to, first time, what to expect, and to focus on the breathing and all that shit. And, I just sunk right in, like the guy was even saying, you're going to be stiff and you're going to resist. And I'm like, fuck you, dude. I fell right back into it. I'm like, I'm not resisting
I had
shit.
to tell myself to relax because you're just naturally tense.
Yeah,
So then I had to
for
tell my
sure.
body to relax. Because even like when you're doing yoga and shit, when they're telling you what to do, it's like you have to like physically tell your body to press your shoulders down. And that's why
Right.
people don't realize how hard yoga is, because they're just fucking standing like this. No, bitch, you're like standing like this and pushing your shoulders down and stretching your muscles. It was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that I can remember actually clearly about it when I was with my buddies and we did the ayahuasca thing was, I can tell that when you do any psychedelic, and that's really my only experience, that it's the people that can talk to themselves and say, hey, you're cool, or you're either that person who enjoys it and gets some enlightenment, or you're the one like me. It's like, I'm full of shit. I'm not cool. This isn't cool. It's not for me. But I could totally see it being good for some people.
It's
But
definitely
fuck
totally
no.
about mindset, and that's why Jason has said that he will never do it, because he has so much anxiety going into it that he's afraid he's going to have like a terrible.
You talking
I'm
about
with you.
psychedelic?
Yeah, like you're already expecting the bad trip before
Yeah.
it even happens.
Yep,
Type deal.
100%,
Right.
brother. Yeah.
But like I'm
wish
sitting
I
there and
would-
I'm like, I wonder what it would be like if I floated on my stomach.
I mean, I would love to do it because, I mean, I've known plenty of people that have done psychedelics and tell me the amazing trips they've been on and stuff like that. But it's just, yeah.
Maybe
But then
we gotta
I've
give you a
I've
bunch
also
of
heard
weed
the horror
first.
stories too. Like it was somebody that I know that, I think I've told this story before, but they went into it thinking they were going to have a bad trip, and that's exactly what happened.
Well,
like
of course
he
they
stood in
did.
front of a mirror, and then he saw his face as a devil, and then it started melting off his face as he was looking in the mirror and like shit like that.
Yeah, my buddy though, it's Josh Hall. We did that episodes with him.
Yeah,
2 episodes.
He's the one that went into the jungle of Colombia with a shaman and fucking did with the real deal bullshit, hiked in and out. And he was explaining his experience to me, and he was like, man, it was beautiful, bro. Like, we drank the medicine, and then I vomited profusely. It was beautiful. I got rid of my, I got out my demons when I vomited out everything, and then it was just, it was these colors, and my soul was, gone, but it was there, and I was like, dude, you lost me at I vomited uncontrollably.
See, and when I heard you say that you had done it, that's, to me, in my mind, I automatically just saw you walking through the jungle like Indiana fucking Jones. I'm like, when the fuck did Randall go to Peru? Like, like
no, that's Josh. Yeah, mine could have easily been bogus, just some sort of acid or some mushroom tea, but I mean, it was awful for me. This is just me.
Right.
I know it could be beautiful. This one could handle it like a champion.
Well, I've done plenty of psychedelics in my day and laughed my ass off the entire time and literally had stomach aches the next day. Like, I laughed too much last night.
I laughed myself into a 6-pack.
Yes.
But just so you know a little bit about Josh. Josh Hall went to Colombia to fix his gut biome. Like, that was his whole thing, to fix his gut biome and do ayahuasca
He got
in
a
the
fecal
jungle.
transplant.
Oh, wow.
He's a savage. He's a savage.
He got somebody's poop put in his butt, put inside his butt.
Dude is a savage animal. And, he fought in the UFC, fought Matt Brown. Just what a fucking guy.
It's like
with his story.
reverse centipede, right?
Uh-huh.
Just shitting in an asshole.
Reverse simian centipede.
Yeah.
Thanks for the episode title, baby.
There it is.
I come in handy sometimes.
So now I'm going to need photos of you guys to where I can put stitch together all of us into a big circle.
Everybody take their pants off and bend over.
Randall, the look on Randall's face is he's like, what the fuck is human centipede?
No, I totally get it, but all I'm picturing is Wutsky as Clark Kent with the hair for some.
That hair is everything.
So
Hey, you gave me as good a head of hair as I've had in the last 20 years, man.
When I first looked at it, I was like, why does he look so different?
That son of a bitch is handsome all of a sudden.
Full head of jet black hair, jet black.
Like the widow's peak and everything, because it's fucking super. But and then when he said it, I was like, that's it. That's the fucking.
You had to give him a little curly Q in the front.
Yeah, that's that Clark Kent, that patented Clark Kent curl. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, guys, I won't keep you too much longer, man. We appreciate you coming in. Like I said, I'm a big fan of what you guys do on your own show, and not to mention this new spinoff. I mean, and you guys are doing great things at the Civilized Creatures and whatnot, and we respect the hell out of you. So, I mean, thanks for coming in and talking to us a little bit about it. Where can everybody find you and find your shows?
That's you, babe.
Well, you can listen to us. The podcast, The Roundtable, is on the Married AF feed, and we are on all the podcast shit. And on Twitter, we're Married as Fuck. On Facebook, we're Married AF Podcast. And Instagram, we're Married AF Podcast as well.
Sweet.
So come follow us and subscribe and all that shit.
And we can obviously talk to you guys all night.
Right.
This is
Yeah.
I
it's a
know.
great
Shoot
time.
the shit
love
with
you guys.
for forever. We're gonna do some sort of a get together. I think if we get everyone to Atlanta, even Adam and all them, and
I know, we're
Almy
like in the
living
middle
here.
of everybody.
Well, here's the thing.
We can
It's
all-
funny you say this because Mr. Simmons called me last night, and he my tank experience. He's a big floater. He's done it multiple times, and hearing us talk about it, he made an appointment. He's like, "It's been too long. I got to go back in the tank, dog."
Yeah.
So he called me up right after he got out of the tank and didn't sound relaxed at all. Sounded like he was on a fucking gallon of pre-workout. He's like, bro, I just came out of the tank, man, and let me tell you, my mind's firing a mile a minute. Let me tell you what, I got 2 words for you. Podcaster retreat.
Yeah.
And I said, what do you mean, man? And he's like, neutral site. We find somewhere on the eastern coast. I don't care where it is. If it's Nashville, if it's Atlanta, if it's South Carolina, I don't care where it is. We're all going to meet. We're going to get an Airbnb, and we're going to have 3 days, and we're going to lock ourselves in the house, and we're going to eat good food and smoke cigars, and we're going to podcast our balls off.
Amazing.
And I was like, yeah, cool, dude. Like, yeah, sign me up, man. Just let me know. And he's like, no, let me know. This is happening. We got to plan this. We got to plan this now. So I said, hearing you say that, fucking Atlanta's as good a spot as any, man. I mean, we can do this in Atlanta.
Yeah, Atlanta's a cool town, man.
That just makes me sad though because I gotta miss out.
No, see,
Why
here's
do
the
you?
thing.
Y'all don't have anybody to have the kiddos there?
Not really. Not for that long of a time.
That long of a time. We're talking 48 hours. They're kids. They're not. Yeah, they're fine.
Or
Yeah,
where's
we'll work
y'all's
it out.
family?
We'll work it out.
My dad is in Indiana. My sister lives here, but she's fitting to have a baby in September, so she's probably going to be in no condition to watch 2 other children, and she has a 4-year-old of her own. And then our aunt and uncle that live here have 2 grown children and watch their own grandchild, so probably do not want to watch 2 other children.
I hate to ask them just because they're past it.
And they're easy kids. I mean, they're great kids. It's just like, and they might not mind, but me, I feel like they're a burden.
Sure. I know.
what I mean?
Well,
exactly.
yeah,
Not that
we're
they're
the
bad
same way.
kids, but just like, I hate to put that on anybody, especially if it's a few hours. If we're going to go see a movie and to dinner, that's not a big deal. But like, that's a big ask for a couple days. And I don't mind that he goes alone. I love you guys, and I really would like to see everybody. And that's why I'm just like, I'm bummed, but I'm also excited.
I say if we do in Atlanta, y'all bring the kids.
That's what I was going to say. We could always do it like, bring the kids, and then, if the crew goes outward somewhere, rotate who stays with the kids, and they can all stay here and party at our house, and when an adult stay with them, rotate one night,
But we do have our friends in Atlanta
and,
too, so I mean, even if that was the case, we could leave them with our friends in Atlanta and then come hang out for a little bit.
Yeah, it's all possible. We can make it all happen.
Our friends in Atlanta, our family, they're the ones that we stayed with for 9 months when we moved back down to Florida.
Nice.
Yeah.
And we love each other's kids like they're our own, so it wouldn't be an issue. So I think that would probably be... That'd be awesome.
Let's make it happen.
I'm with it. Let's make it happen. Because the plan was, Podcast Movement is in Orlando in August, and the plan was everyone was going to come to Florida, and we were going to do that here in August. But then Naomi went ahead and fucking knocked up Christina. So I mean, that kind of threw a monkey wrench in that whole thing.
There's another podcast baby that we got to account for.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be his life's gonna change. I'm so happy for them though. We fucking love them both, of course.
Oh, their life's about to change for real.
Well, and we know what it's like to struggle to get pregnant too when you actually want to. So I mean, yeah,
It took us a long time.
We were very happy for them when he actually slipped one past the goalie.
Hell yeah.
And I love baby holds. I wouldn't mind holding the baby.
Yeah,
I know.
Hey,
I liked going and shopping for baby girl stuff. I ain't gonna lie.
Aww.
I tried to talk her into it. I tried to tell her. I said, let's try for a girl.
I mean, I have my 2 boys. I was a tomboy growing up. I don't know how I deal with a girl, to be honest.
Well, I don't need. I mean, I've been dealing with nothing but boys for so long.
Right.
I don't know how I would, but we had a good time shopping for girl stuff. Gunnar did too. Gunnar loves little baby girls.
Do you think this can make a girl?
No, he's never going to make a girl. If I
what's-
get pregnant again, it's 1,000,000 trillion% going to be a boy.
That's exactly what I told him too. I'm like, you hope
I
for a
can
girl, but
guarantee it.
another little asshole is going to just spit right out of me. That's just what's going to happen.
Yep,
Another
you're
little
right.
precious angel boy.
I am's
that would
what
be
I am.
Well, I got
but
lucky
little
with my
angel.
last one.
Yeah, you did.
I
They
had
were
the
trying
2
for a
girls and
boy.
then finally got the boy.
But it's funny because my
Nice.
sister has a girl who's 4, and my sister was telling me this little boy in class only talks about poop and farts, and I'm like,
Yeah, that's what they do.
boys
that's
That
normal.
never changes. Yeah.
Hey,
Standard. What's the problem?
girls talk about it too, so don't act like it's only
like,
a boy thing.
Yeah, they do.
If you hang around with us long enough, that's what all we talk about too. Because today when I was putting Luke in the bathtub, I took his little shorts off or whatever to get him in the tub, and he legit bends over and rubs his butt on my leg, and he's like, "I rub my butt on you." I'm like, "That's nasty, bro."
Gunnar does that to me every night. Like I go put lotion on him after the bath and stuff, and he's like literally putting his butt cheeks like on my face. I'm like, "Put your shit out of
That's
my
just
face."
boys.
Savages.
It's just
Yes.
boys.
That's just pink eye.
Yeah. He's
That is
trying
pink eye.
to. I got protective eyewear.
Conjunctivitis.
Let me close this out, or like she said, we'll just sit here all night.
I know, we could talk all night.
Thanks. This has been another episode for hashtag No Offense. If you're a new listener, thanks for giving us a shot. Come back and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. We're available everywhere: Apple Podcasts, rate and review, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, and Podcoin. Check us out on Podcoin, where you can get paid to listen to your podcast. When you sign up, use code word HTNOS. You get 300 Podcoin bonus right off the bat. And look for us and all of our other Inner Circle podcasts in the bonus section. That's Simmons and More, us, hashtag No Offense, The Hood Diner,
The Plunge.
The Plunge.
Shit
Happens when you party naked. God, there's so many of them. Any pod, fucking, and all of our friends are there too. If you listen to, migrate your podcast over to Podcoin. You can do something while you're doing nothing. Fuckface.
Don't be afraid to hit us up. We love to hear from you.
Absolutely.
Hit us up.
Maybe you guys can teach us the ways on listener interaction, because as the listens go up, the fucking emails do not. So when we put out the question beacon, we don't get shit. So maybe we can learn that from you guys. But if you've got anything that you would like to say to us, HTNOS,
negative or positive,
everywhere, literally everywhere. I've made it so fucking idiot proof. It's 5 letters, HTNOS on any platform you want. HTNOS.com. Give us a call even. We've got a voicemail line. You don't have to speak to a live operator. We're not the Home Shopping Network by any means. You hear Dutchie. She sounds very welcoming. Leave us a fucking voicemail. It's 813-773-5706. HTNOS@yahoo.com. And I think that's it.
Yeah, anything. If you want to tell us that we suck, fucking call us and tell us.
We get enough of that.
Tired
I mean,
of
you don't have to
listening
bring it to my door.
Like,
You know?
fucking tell us. We won't change
we
shit.
need a voicemail line. I want some voicemails.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'm totally down.
We get Riley every week about some weird bitch he tries to fuck on Twitter with baby mamas.
Dating
and
apps.
shit.
I like the dating app stories.
Those
'cause
are
I'm
funny.
Like, what's that about? I don't know what dating apps
Yeah,
are.
I never used it. I don't think I would.
That's the thing with actually.
I gotta piss. I gotta piss.
Yeah, I do
all right.
too,
We'll
actually.
just close. We'll just close it out. Hashtag No Offense.
Love ya.